In tonight's cover story, it's been almost a year since the longest war in the United States history ended with the chaotic withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan.
So what happened to all of the Afghans who helped America for 2 decades? Well, for one U.S. aid worker, it was a long, painful journey to Chicago. Tonight, WGN's Mike Lowe has the story of a soldier, a senator, and a servant.
For 2 decades, as America fought its longest war in Afghanistan, U.S. troops, diplomats, and aid workers were helped by another army, the citizens of Afghanistan.
I have started my work with the Americans from March 2002.
Adel Hakiar was one of the thousands who took enormous risks to help the United States.
I believe the American and the NATO for Afghanistan was a chance for development.
He says the Taliban made it clear anyone who assisted the Americans would be beheaded. But he did it anyway because he believed a partnership with the U.S. would lead to an open and free future and a path out of poverty.
We were trying to build a relation with the local people to the government.
Hakiar worked for a decade as a contractor for the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, in Afghanistan.
The aim of the project was to counter insurgency.
But in 2016, he found himself under threat from the Taliban and had to leave the country on short notice with his wife and 4 children.
Background check is a problem.
They fled on foot, then took rafts from Turkey to Greece. It was there Hakiar was separated from his family. His work earned him a special immigrant visa, and he eventually made it to the U.S. with the hope that his family would soon follow.
It was very difficult time.
But the already arduous immigration process was later complicated by the pandemic, which limited travel. His family was left stranded in a refugee camp in Greece for 5 agonizing years.
My heart was burning from inside.
The bureaucratic machinery had ground to a halt, and the family's refugee status was about to expire, meaning they'd be sent back to Afghanistan and the lurking danger of the Taliban.
Stay there! Stay there!
It was just about 1 year ago when the U.S. withdrew its last soldiers from the country in a messy end to the 20-year conflict.
Afghanistan's been more or less omnipresent since I joined the Army in 2003. It was a difficult time for a lot of veterans.
Retired Army Captain Paul Curley, who served in various locations across the Middle East,
There may be difficulties, but if you're determined,
now leads the Veterans Network at Ernst & Young, where he works as a consultant in Chicago. His group decided it had to assist the Afghan people who had aided the U.S.
they're having difficulty getting out of the country.
Curley partnered with Refugee One, a Chicago-based refugee resettlement organization, which sent him the case of the 47-year-old father of 4.
So we found out pretty quickly thereafter that Adel has a family has 5 more family members that are stuck in Greece.
They helped him get settled in Rogers Park and then got to work to reunite him with his family.
Paul Curley called his senator.
U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth, a fellow Army veteran who lost her legs in combat in Iraq, says she immediately felt the motivation of the soldier's solemn vow, leave no one behind. Senator Duckworth, you called the embassy, you lobbied the State Department, and you put pressure on Greek officials, all on behalf of Adel. Why'd you do it?
Well, Mike, it's the best part of my job that I can actually help my constituents and help people around the country, and in this case, around the world. The best part of my job that I get to do this and make these calls and push and prod and cajole and threaten and do whatever I need to in order to help people. As a fellow soldier, I knew that you don't leave your buddies behind, and Adel certainly didn't leave Americans behind when he worked alongside Americans for 10 plus years in Afghanistan. We can't leave him behind.
And these are people that helped us. You know, we don't want to leave these people behind. We don't want to leave them in limbo.
Thanks to the senator and the soldier, the Hakiars are together again in their new home, Chicago.
It was unbelievable. You can imagine after 5 years when you hug your son.
Where after 5 years, the kids are experiencing something of a normal summer. Roller skating,
to the beach. We're gonna go see some fishes.
Riding bikes, spending time sketching superheroes.
I try to draw every day.
And watching videos on their phones.
You're jealous, huh?
They are finally eating dinner together as a family.
This family is going to be in my life for the rest of my life. They're an extension of my family, and the fact that they helped my country members is something that means a lot to me.
According to Refugee One, since the end of the war, some 1,500 Afghans have resettled in Chicago, but there are still an estimated 60,000 of them who worked with American forces and applied for visas who are still in the country. This war may be over for Americans, but for the Afghans who helped, the struggle remains.
And I want to ask from any person who has power to help the people who stayed behind.
In Rogers Park, Mike Lowe, WGN News.